Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. For those that haven't seen the Sarcasm City Sports Q&As before, the live audience in the comment section run the show. So get your sporting questions in, people. Omar Berrada to join Manchester United from Manchester City as a CEO. That's a report that's come out. Obviously, before today, nobody knew who this guy was, but this report came out. So it seems Ineos, Jim Ratcliffe, Manchester United making moves. It seems, you know what I'm saying? I use that loosely. So I'm sure I'll get questions on that. Arsenal put 5 past Crystal Palace, so Arsenal back to winning ways as well. Brentford winning against Nottingham Forest. Ivan Toney getting a goal on his return as well. So before we get into all those things, make sure you hit the like button on the video. Whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back after the live, hit that like button, people. Make sure you share this across all the socials as well. So hit the like button. Please share on across all socials you are active on. And on top of those two things, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV as well. Road to 10K. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well, people. And if you are a member of the channel on these Q&As, your question takes priority like a super chat. So if you're a member, I will star your question and I will get to it. Of course, if you super chat, I will get to it as well. So don't think I'm going to the same names, people, on purpose. It's just one of the many great perks. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well. And I'm joined by, you know what I'm saying, my guy, one of my dons who you see on the channel on a regular basis, also putting in great work on his own channel as well. My like TJ is in the building. Yes, TJ, what are you telling me? You good?
Flawless. Finally a show where I don't get cooked. I feel like I'm on vacation right now. I should go get my shades. I should go get my Hawaiian shirt. I feel like a weight has been lifted. Am I still Arteta out? Absolutely. Are we title contenders? No. But at least we didn't lose.
Yeah, facts. Well, exactly. You didn't lose. You won 5-0. I didn't expect you to win 5, but I thought you'd win the game because Palace are not that good.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the game, it really wasn't like the score flatters to deceive a little bit. I still think that we're lacking in terms of open play goals. Martinelli's brace was great. Like, congratulations. I hope that brings some form back to him in general. But Crystal Palace had thrown in the towel at that point, bro. The two goals were both carbon copies of each other. So I'm not absolutely bigging up the team. Obviously, the set pieces are looking good. We continue to run the league as champions of headers. 2 of them getting scored today. I can't believe that Henderson goal the Henderson own goal got credited to him. It should have been credited to Gabriel, so we can continue our dominance as Premier League champions of header goals. But we move, sometimes the ball doesn't always fall the way you want it to, but big up, man. Yeah, no, I'm happy. Finally not going to get cooked everywhere I go this week.
There you go, man.
It's a weight lifted. It's a weight lifted, bro. It's a weight lifted,
There we go, man. You ain't gonna get cooked. Win for you, like I say, good win as well. So especially a great result, especially on paper as well to get 5. Jez, what are you telling me? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. What are you guys saying?
Oh, bless, man. Just started the show. Jez in the building. You see him holding down the AFCON watch-alongs on the Twitch as well, people. Big up to Eli as well. This is big up Flawless and all my dons in the chat, putting in that work. But, brother had to slide through to support, LOL. Appreciate that, Eli. Big up. No H. There won't be any pro clubs after this. I am tired, people. So, no. But that being said, that could change during the show. I'm not going to lie. Eli says, do y'all think you will start shifting personnel now that y'all have a CEO? Is it crazy that, it sounds great on paper, but I'm still on the train of I'll believe it when I see it. Because I believe the article, well, not the article, but it's not going to happen till summer. He's not officially taking over. Someone in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think they announced it, though. Man United
so it's actually official then?
Yeah, like from the club already announced it. Let me get the statement.
Yeah. Get the statement. But so they've officially announced it, but he's actually not taking over till summer. Like he's not in place now.
Let me see, because I did see that. What's it called? I did see that he left City immediate effect. One sec. So
it was immediate effect. Yeah, he resigned.
Yeah, I know he resigned from City. I know. For those that don't know, this is the CEO I need to do more of my research, which I will do, but he's like overseeing City's successful period. He's been at the helm as the CEO. Yeah, see, Will said it exactly. Flawless heard he don't come in till earliest next season. Like shout out to the OG Norridin because I seen
Yeah, it's
his
title. Yeah,
his live stream title and he said bullshit PR spin by and McLaren phrasing. He was like bullshit PR spin by the
yeah.
Glazers and Ineos. People twerking for Glazers and Ineos. So that's how I know I'm not losing it because
So,
normally Norridin is fairly spot on with these type of things. I believe it when I see it. Again, it sounds good. Is it a step in the right direction? Yes. But if we're not saying until next season, I'll celebrate them and commend them for the deal next season when he's officially here. Yeah,
yeah,
go on,
but,
Jen.
so yeah, so he's obviously Man United already confirmed him, and the last part of the statement was that Omar's start date will be confirmed in due course. In the meantime, Patrick Stewart will continue as the interim CEO. So
Okay.
he's coming. He's coming at some point. I don't know, between obviously from now till the summer. At some point, he's gonna start his job.
Okay, that's fair. So, like I say, on paper, yeah, it sounds good, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. So, and a surprising step. I didn't expect Manchester United to go out and get somebody who was so competent at their job, somebody who has been successful at their job. This is Manchester City. We've all seen what they've done in the
He
last
also, by
few
the
years.
way, he was
Yeah,
also
go
at
on.
Barcelona during the whole period before.
Oh, when they've had their success as well.
Yeah,
I'm about to like I ain't got Google. Yeah, go on, carry on.
yeah, he was.
I
Yeah, he
didn't
was at
actually check.
like. Remember when City just went and get the whole Barcelona stuff? Like he was part of it.
Oh, he was part of the okay. So
Yeah,
before Pep went to City, he
yeah.
was
They pretty much brought
okay.
all these Barca guys in, and he was obviously part of it.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just have a look here. Because I did state I was gonna do my research on this guy and see what's what. But it seems like a step in the right direction. And like I said, it's a surprising one that Manchester United have gone out and got somebody like this who Jez has just said has been at Barcelona. He's been at Manchester City during 2 successful periods as well. Why is this?
It's kind of hilarious because obviously people went through his old tweets. There's bad tweets about him laughing at United.
Yeah, facts, man. Like, that's
I kind of like life comes circle, bro. Like there's one tweet from I found that tweet where it's 2011, literally last day of the year, where I think Spurs, Chelsea, and United played, and I checked the result for I think we drew on that day, and United lost 3-2 to Blackburn. I think. I can't remember. It was just hilarious, bro. Like people finding all these tweets, but I mean, now based on paper,
yeah,
like
people found that quick as well. It's like no one knew who this dumb was before. This is the
No,
crazy part.
no, nobody does. But now everybody's getting gassed about it. People are gonna start doing emergency streams, being like, "Oh man, like this is gonna happen. Should we take it seriously?" Well, the fact that he was willing to jump ship at City to come over to you guys is pretty telling. They must have thrown a fat wad of cash at him.
Yeah.
Do it.
There's many things because Will has mentioned is in regards to I see a big list of City man high up leaving the club to other teams, which I didn't know about. Will actually, you reckon they dip him before the 115 charges kick in? People have mentioned it. It does make sense. Maybe it's just me being cynical again because I'm very cynical about these type of things. I don't see anything happening to Manchester City. How come these 115 charges are taking their sweet time? We've seen Everton. Look how quickly Everton got deducted points. I'm not sure when their when they was officially found guilty, but they was deducted 10 points fairly quick. And I know theirs wasn't 115 charges. How's it 115 charges and they're talking about 2025? Like, what's going on?
Too many
There
lawyers.
just seems to be
more lawyers.
Yeah, like that's why I genuinely don't think anything will happen to Manchester City. It feels like if someone in the chat can let me know when was this officially when were they officially charged? I swear it was like 20. Was it not two years ago? Last year, something like that. I'm actually trying to do some more research on this Omar Berrada as well, whilst we speak, just to see. But his Wikipedia page, I think, has come up in Spanish. But you lot continue to run up the likes as well. Hit the share button, subscribe to the channel as well, Sarcasm City TV. Also, just to see where he's been at.
Yeah.
That's all. But we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, and Everton's I think was a lot more straightforward because you could tell, just that they were they weren't cooking the books, but you could easily tell that they had more incomings than they had outgoings. And then the state, they tried to offset with the stadium, do some magic there where the Premier League's like, whatever. Whereas, the City doesn't have that much transfer in actual physical capital. I think that was a big deal. And then the fact that they cooked the books to the fact, I heard this somewhere. I think I heard this on TIFO. They cooked the books to the fact where they thought they were going to get a certain amount for Richarlison, and then they didn't. So,
yeah, I saw that.
Go ahead.
They thought they could get up to like 80, and apparently Everton and Nottingham Forest, both of them want to take Tottenham, not to court, I think it was, but to somewhere, to kind of demand more money out of us for
Brendan too.
Yeah, and
wow.
Richarlison, because I'm like, yeah, I saw a report like that. I'm like, you guys sold us these guys for this much money, so it's like, why do you guys you should be actually happy that we bought these two off you guys. Like, I mean, half of our fan base does. I mean, half of the fan base don't like Brennan. Half of the fan base actually starting to like Richarlison now. But
that'll happen when you score 7.
You guys should be like, which is hilarious because Nottingham Forest, they got angry that they believe they could have evaded these FFP rules if they would have sold him before a certain time, but because they sold him later than they did to us, that's why they have these FFP issues. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't want to sell him to us to begin with, so like you took your sweet time. Like, karma's a bitch, like it's just one of them ones where you could have just sold them to us way earlier, but you wanted to take your sweet time with it. So,
well, they were trying to get more money out of it. I mean, same with Everton, and Everton it's just a lot more straightforward with this. Whereas City, I think that they're going to dispute every single charge that they get against them, and they have an army of lawyers that can push this out to the point where they're just going to be like, how much time and how much money is the Premier League going to be willing to spend on this? Whereas City is not willing to give up any records. They're not being forthcoming about absolutely anything. They're not cooperating, which means to me they're guilty, but it also means lack of evidence for the Premier League to actually throw anything at them or actually, make anything stick in whatever court they end up going to. So it's one of those things where Everton was kind of dead to rights because, they do have to show the books, they get it audited, they get screwed. But if Manchester City aren't willing to share those records years on, by the way, then it's gonna die out there. It's gonna die in court. The Premier League are gonna let it go, and nothing's gonna happen to City. Nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
I think they don't really. I mean, they don't really have to even show the papers and anything. People probably know the George Giddy incident. Now the NBA is on his case now, which makes sense, obviously. But apparently, even the girl that is under obviously review, she doesn't even want to cooperate with the police. So it's like, it's a whole mess. And like, you need, obviously, you can't just go and take you just can't go and just take evidence and just say, yeah, you did this and that. Like, that's why I think this whole City thing takes so long. It's because of, one, obviously, like TG said, the lack of evidence, but two, because there's just so much things that they have to even go through. But they take obviously their sweet time with it. Whatever, like this whole thing with relegation and shit. I personally don't think they're gonna get relegated because I just think City in 2024 is just such a big problem. I mean, they just came off winning a treble. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe it's a different conversation, but this City, nah.
It's gonna be a few vacated titles at the most, and vacated titles and maybe a point deduction, but they're not going anywhere. They generate way too much money.
As long as they get my Carabao Cup,
talks.
I'll take it. Give me my Carabao Cup back. As long as I get that, like, you see because Chelsea fans said, "Yeah, we want this trophy." That hell no, just give us our Carabao Cup, and I'm happy.
Bro, no, I mean, I wouldn't mind my league title from my last season, but honestly, I'm so embarrassed that we dropped it that I don't want it. So it's
I don't want no league. I ain't claiming no league title. I'm all for them.
I don't want any second place league titles.
Well, yeah, I don't want no league title in that. But
no, but that's what everybody's gonna say. That's what everybody's gonna come out with, though. That's what all the soft brain freaking Arsenal fans go. Oh yeah, we want it. We actually want it. I can't wait for that.
Because we'd have one actually. Because we'd have one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
want
see,
that.
you see me. I'm just dead shameless, but I just don't give a fuck. Give me everything where City stopped us. I mean, shit, we playing them in the FA Cup. Let us through to the next one automatically just because of that.
This guy,
Shameless.
that is ridiculously shameless. And yeah, Will, I hear you when you say this. You said Everton got 2 charges accepted straight away. City got 115 and declined, so that'll obviously make the process longer, right? That is true. Like I said, it's just me being cynical. That's just my character. I genuinely don't think anything's gonna happen to them. There seems to be no movement. There seems to be no urgency from authorities, like in regards to this. Was it not Liverpool who were pushing for them to be punished? Why is it taking another football club to be like, all right, what's going on with this type of thing?
Because
There's no urgency for this. There's no, they don't
Liverpool
care.
doing the victim mentality shit. They want all the league titles back.
Yeah, man, like Liverpool are looking for it. Like, why are they pushing? But we'll see. To Daniel says, why do you think United got Berrada from City? United most like I bet you're saying they're most likely know what's going to happen. It depends. Maybe it is a money thing. Maybe it's a money thing. Maybe he wants a new challenge. Maybe it is the 115 charges. Who knows? Like, or it could be a mixture of all those three, of 2 of those 3 or all of those 3 that I just mentioned. I'm sure he'll probably do an interview at some point, and then we'll know a little bit more in regards to why he's made the move.
You see, he's gonna come with the usual PR thing. Like in order like to say, he's gonna say how he's here to change the club. He mentioned United. This is supposed to be a super house of a football club. All that PR thing. Obviously, you need to go and prove it. See me, I've seen a couple of theories on the timeline talking about how this could be a potential inside job where he's coming in and the people, Tixie and everybody told them, let's finish off United for good.
You know what's crazy is people talking about inside job like United have not been terrible. We do not need any.
You haven't been terrible.
Yeah. They need a mole to inside to finish the job.
See that? That's what I mean. But this is what I mean, though.
Finish the job like we haven't been finished. Like that's the crazy part.
People want to see United get relegated. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, you know what? I'm all for that. I might get some away tickets. You know what I'm saying? That one, I will get some away tickets. Secondly, yo, them trips would be crazy. Let me go away to Tranmere, away to Preston, and things, away to Blackburn and things of that nature. And also, like the again, me being cynical, we find out who's really a United fan or not. Content creators. You know what I'm saying? Social media people, if we went to the championship, who's still covering I still will be. I'll still be doing watch-alongs. I'll still be covering Manchester United in as much
the championship season.
If he was in the championship. Like, would your favorite content creator is the question I'm asking. Like, you'd find out a lot of fans. Same way if we was in League One, like, I'm still supporting. Like, I'm United through and through. Like, I ain't fussed about, well, obviously I'm fussed, but it's like, if we happen to get relegated, which again, I don't think it's going to happen, people, but that would be the interesting part. And like I say, those championship watch-alongs would be lit. I'm saying them away days would be lit. 100%. Like, without doubt. Hello, 1 second.
Away. Big up the little niece, I think. But
yeah, big up the nephew.
Yeah, what's good? Imagine these away trips at Millwall. You might have to invite me to those.
Invite you to what? The watch-alongs?
Away trips to Millwall.
Oh yeah, the away trips, man. Nah, I ain't going to Millwall. I leave that. I ain't doing
no.
Everywhere else I go, but nah, Millwall, nah. Blackburn, Preston.
Away trips to Stoke.
Yeah. The northern teams, Midlands, Yorkshire, cool. Even a couple of London teams, but definitely like a Charlton Athletic. I don't know if they're in the championship, but just using a QPR, should I say? Like I
don't think Charlton are in the championship. I think
that's what I said. But
QPR is London, right?
QPR in the championship. So yeah, just using it as an example. Hey, big up Jago as well. Walk on flawless. Hey, Jago, big up, man. I hope you're good as well. Will says, I think he went because it was an upgrade on his role compared to the City one. Red City don't need to replace him after he left. So sounds like he was just overseeing stuff in City versus now CEO. Okay, like I said, all these things will be found out, but hopefully they release a date like soon in regards to when he's actually taking over, because they're saying it's in due time. Release like his takeover date is due to be announced, so we will see. But back to the actual, one of the games anyway. Eli said, let's get this straight. That was a stinky performance, but great result. Also, ESR, Trossard, Didio need more game time. I was talking about the Arsenal Crystal Palace game. So yeah, TJ, thoughts on this?
Bro, I didn't think Trossard was that good other than the goal. to be honest with you. I thought he got in a good position, got a great ball to him, and yeah, he was just able to finish it. It was pretty easy. I didn't think ESR was good either, to be honest with you. I think ESR needs to start taking. He's not getting a lot of chance. And I said this on my match reaction too. Go back and watch a TJ Warren TV.
TJ Warren TV. Links underneath in the description, people.
Yeah, absolutely. Shameless plug. But no, ESR needs to start taking advantage of the minutes that he gets, because he's only going to get a 20 minutes there, 15 minutes here. And it's very, very obvious that Mikel Arteta doesn't rate him. So if he's going to go out there and he's going to continue to, he's finding open space, but he's not taking advantage of his chances. He's not scoring. Same thing happened against Bournemouth, to where he was getting knocked on chances. He just wasn't finishing them. Like, look, I want ESR to start over Kai Havertz. Like, that's not a secret, but you need to he's going to need to do more, and outperform Kai Havertz probably times 2 in order to convince Arteta that he's the real deal. Until then, he's not going to rate him. He's going to continue to get these, these little showcases, these little, 10, 15 minute guest appearances when we're up 3-0 until he's actually able to put the ball in the net. Until then, he's going to be on the chopping block, or he's not going to get any time. Sorry, Jez, go ahead, man.
No, I said, Flos, it's your Litanista.
Yeah,
I don't want to say. I don't want to say it, but I don't want to say it.
I got headphones in. I
got Spencer. Yeah, I tell you, just give him the here nigga down minutes. That's what he's doing. I mean, I had to double check real quick. I
appreciate you double checking. Yeah,
I mean,
this is what he's doing right now. He's getting
no. It's absolutely, bro. It's absolutely charity, man. And it's one of those things where if he's not in his plans for the future, man, play one of the kids. Like this is not, play one of the kids and send him out on loan or sell him. Like, he's just not that guy. I mean, and you go out there, he doesn't even look fit, to be honest with you. He's looking a little, I'm looking off the pace a little bit. No, looking off the pace a little bit. He looks like he's carrying a few extra pounds. Obviously, I'm not one to judge, but he does not look necessarily that fit either. So I wouldn't, for his career, I wouldn't mind seeing him go and seeing where he can do somewhere else, because he does not fit into this Arteta squad. He just doesn't. And once Fabio Vieira comes back, he's gonna get pushed back in the pecking order even further.
Jeez, crazy.
Yeah.
Because Eli's saying, he definitely wasn't great, but how could you perform well consistently when you only get 10 minutes every 3 months? And when you do something wrong, you hold bench for months over favorites.
I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, Eli. You got to take your chances. I mean, you saw him against Bournemouth, man. He had 2 or 3 chances where he either put it wide or didn't put it in a position where it was outside of the goalkeeper's reach, man. He has to start getting results in the minutes that he's getting. Like, that's just the facts. It's and you know that Arteta doesn't rate him anymore, so he has to start taking advantage. Otherwise, he's gonna continue to get relegated to the bench or the reserves. So I agree with you. I mean, I agree with you. I would, barring an injury, I don't think he's gonna get the time it takes. Long story short.
No, that's fair. Because he goes on to say, I feel Smith Rowe and Trossardinho need to start over Saka and Jesus, as they haven't been doing ish. Deepness in the last 30 games, Saka has 8 goals. Tell me how that's good enough. Jeez, he got 8 goals in his last 30.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, like, they scored 5 goals and he was involved in none of them.
Well, and I'm not completely exonerating Saka, but that's also the manager. The manager and the way that he's playing him, man. He's not giving him any help. And the fact that Saka was finally getting overlapped by Ben White today, that was something that we had not seen in a while. Ben White was actually playing the overlap and giving him some space. The only reason Saka was technically put in an above average performance today was because he was on the corners when the goals went in. So, like, I agree with you, but I also think it's just the manager doing the same thing over and over and over again, possession-based football in the final third. And, 2 out of the 3 goal, the third goal was the first 2 goals were on set pieces. The second goal was the third goal was on a counter. And then the fourth and fifth, like I said, Crystal Palace had thrown in the towel at that point. I really don't, we need to start seeing more open goals from Saka, and he needs to start generating it. But I still genuinely think it's because of where Saka's being, how Saka is being played in this formation.
And
it's not good. I agree with you, Eli. It's not good enough. He needs to start taking more of these chances, but I don't think it's completely his fault.
I think
that's fair.
But then also like I do get the criticism, but then at the same time I can sit and make the argument that if the player is generally not playing well, why is the manager just not taking all of the fine line? Like I feel like there should be always a cutting point. Like I believe in the whole thing of play your best players, even if they're not in good form. To a degree, I do believe that, but at the same time, when it's generally just not working, then you just have to go and drop these guys. And there's nothing wrong about it. There's nothing wrong about. I don't know why certain managers have an issue with dropping guys when they're just not performing well. I think that's just that's probably one of the big things that I actually like about Anstead. He doesn't seem like one of the managers that doesn't drop his players when they don't play well. And I don't know. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
No, that's fair. Nah,
I can actually sorry, Flash. I don't mean
that's cool. It's you. Do your thing.
The one thing I do I kind of understand is just because we have the lack of options at 9. Because if you can, people are gassing up Reece Nelson, but what has he actually done other than be pacey? Like he hasn't actually provided any end product where, if we had, I would say if we had an actual solution at number 9 outside of Gabriel Jesus, then Gabriel Jesus would be a threat to be moved over to the right and cover for Saka if he hit some bad form. But we don't have those options in attack. We just
okay. Then see, let me ask this. So why? Okay, I know there's a whole thing with Arsenal currently. They're waiting for the right striker and that. Why Arsenal just not trying to go on try and just get a loan deal, at least a bare minimum for the striker position? Because like, okay, if you generally don't believe you can go and get the targets that you want for striker, get a loan signing in. There's nothing wrong that if it's not working out, it doesn't work out. And I know there's pressure to perform and shit like that for a title, which is fair enough, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't just stop and just do nothing then. Because
no, I agree.
As of right now, I think it's what this month is till the 31st or 30th.
31st.
So it's 11 days left, pretty much. Obviously, until we get into the last day of the window. Is Arsenal really just gonna start all of a sudden transfer news coming out saying they're gonna sign this big guy now? And gotta remember as well, clubs don't just want to let their guys just leave like that a couple of days before the window is closed, and then they can't get a replacement. So I don't think Arsenal are gonna go spend big on somebody that everybody knows, like a Tony or an Oshman. It's not gonna happen, I think. So if I'm Arsenal, I would just check the loan market. You never know what you can find in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the probably the worst person to be commenting on this because I don't know of any strikers that we could realistically get on loan that could do a job. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. Didn't Xavi Simons just transfer? Steve, big up Steve-O. But no, it's one of those things where like if we were going to be serious, if we were serious about getting a striker in, we would have been linked a long time ago, whether it was on loan or whether we were going to buy him. That's why everybody was losing their minds about the Karim Benzema situation. Is like, oh, he wants to move, but our Arsenal are too. How do I say this? We're not willing to spend money on something that's short of a sure thing. For that position at this point in the season, I don't think. Like
crazy part is the difference he could make. Like he could, I think he's that good. He's legit good enough to make you into genuine.
No, he could make us into genuine title challengers. I believe that, but it's not realistic. Like realistically, he's not coming.
I mean, that's the issue. That's the issue with Norris. I mean, that's the issue with Arteta, which I think this seems like a common thing where he doesn't believe in the whole thing of short fixes. He's more so about I either want my number one option or I don't want it at all. Because that happened the last 2 January windows where Arsenal was supposed to go and do something. But I believe the reason why they didn't do anything is because Arteta didn't get his first options.
No, I agree. I mean, and then we were left scrambling, getting depth at positions where we needed depth. I mean, obviously we were able to get Trossard. Trossard fell into our laps though. Like that's the thing is like people keep giving us, oh yeah, it was our best signing in January. He's absolutely cooking, and then people are like so quick to forget that he was our secondary to Mudryk, and he wanted out at Brighton. Like it's not like it wasn't a brilliant piece of business. Like he was a signing that was obviously, I don't want to say knowledgeable because knowledgeable isn't the right word, but it was obvious. That's the word I'm looking for. It was an obvious signing. But Trossard, who I thought had a good, or not Trossard. I was already talking about Trossard. Jorginho. I thought Jorginho had a good game today, but again, he's on the downslope of a career. He's not a permanent solution either. So our windows, and don't even get me started on Jakub Kiwior. And those were our signings in January. No, but I completely agree with you, Jez. Like we unless it's a sure thing, and our only sure thing that we have signed is Declan Rice, and it's concerning. I really don't think we're gonna sign anybody. I really don't. Especially after today, they're gonna think, oh yeah, everything's fixed.
nah, I hear what you're saying. Thoroughly. To Janae, who says flawless, is there an FPL league? Yes, there is a Sarcasm City TV FPL league. I can't remember the code. I'm not gonna lie, I've not checked it out because I just put it together because the audience wanted, you lot in the chat wanted it. So one of the mods, if you've got the code, let me know. Janae, if not, I'll get that for you tomorrow, my guy. And I will get that for you tomorrow. Get the code because that's open for anybody to join. I really should add it underneath in the description, which is what I will do tomorrow. I'll find the code because I believe it was Black Diamond who was. I think he was top of the league for a minute. I know Peter was near the top of the league as well. So yeah, I know there's a few others. I think we had over 30. I think there's like 40 people in there. Over 40 people we had in there.
There's a lot of people in there.
So dropped the flat. Always do.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention at all.
I literally just set it up and all selected a team for you lot. That was just legit what it is. Yeah. And to Jason, who goes and say flawless, the CEO you got from City, he can help with the academy and the Haaland deal. And he helped with the Haaland deal. It's a good move for you guys if Glazers listen to him. Like I said, we'll see. Let him take over. Like date gets announced of him actually taking up that position, and then let's see what he does in that role. And again, it can't just be him. He needs to be him, and there needs to be more. And C Cube says, does the CEO, me and Ten Hag will be sacked? I'm not sure. I highly doubt that it's solely just him. I doubt that it's solely just him.
I mean, it depends who all to come to get. It depends again who comes together in the board, and then they all sit together and think, should we just get out of our own guy? Or, for example, I would imagine, not saying that they would hire him, but it kind of would just make sense if, from their connections just already, that they would try and go to get the Genoa manager, even though maybe if you don't believe that credential-wise he's maybe ready for the Man United job, but just in terms of connections, if they were to get sacked, if they were to sack somebody like Ten Hag, I would imagine they would go for that manager because he knows him already via the City group, innit? But yeah,
exactly. Well, yeah, we'll see in regards to it. And Eli says, thoughts on Tony today proved he's the perfect fit for us as he scored his first time out and assisted after 8 months. Oshman has nothing on him. If you're still doubting Tony at this point, I don't know what more you need to see. To be honest, quality operator.
Guy's a baller.
I mean, bro, I don't know who it was. I don't know who that was, but I literally just had ironically, just the conversation just a week ago about Oshman and Tony. And I'll be honest, I think both of them are really good strikers. Like, I think there shouldn't be a thing. One is just a scrub compared to the other. Now, like, I think if you get one of either, that's a really good choice. Considering the levels of strikers just in general right now, you should be happy if you have either of them. But I kept saying this, like, how it's just not that Tony's obviously scoring the goals. Obviously, people go back to his penalties and say how many penalties he takes for Brentford. But then again, sometimes you have. I mean, ironically, if Saka didn't miss the penalty versus West Ham last season, and there was a Tony, he probably scores it, and Arsenal win the game. Ironically, but that's besides
win the league.
They probably can actually close out the league. But besides, I mean, but my thing as well is that Tony just affects the game just so much outside the goal scoring aspect, and he got the free kicking, he got the dead ball situations as well. So it's like I don't know, like, I just don't get, because the ironic part about it is, out of Arsenal fans see Gabriel Jesus come out and say he doesn't like playing striker, he doesn't like scoring goals, but then they will tell you right to your face they don't like Tony. Like, I don't know. Like, I had
who is saying that they don't like Tony, and can we recommend them for like psychiatric evaluation?
TJ, I had genuine conversations in GCs where, and those GCs are Arsenal dominated GCs where there's a good portion that people are talking about how they don't want Tony, but they want like guys like Aaron Ferguson, who because people looking at the age prospect too much. They think because Tony's 28 and at Brentford, he's not good enough for Arsenal.
Yeah, no, I was hearing that about Paulinho too, and that guy's an absolute baller in the midfield too. Like these people are absolutely clapped, Jez. Like, stop listening to these people. I'm sorry, respectfully.
Like, bro, you have a striker that generally came out saying, "I don't like scoring goals."
That is crazy.
That's how.
He didn't say he doesn't like scoring goals. He said he's not good at it.
Yeah, like, if anything tells you somebody's not a winger, is that, and that's self-fulfilling. Even though he shouldn't say that publicly, when you look at him at City, all his better performances when he played out wide, the vast majority of his better performances, he's a winger. He's a winger who can play up front. Like, and I think for Arsenal, I think him playing, and I didn't watch the full Arsenal game, but I seen Troops mention this in his match reaction when he put out the clip, and he was like, we're onto something where Jesus playing out wide. I've been saying Arsenal should play Jesus out wide and try a Trossard in false nine.
One of the best games of the season was playing the wing against Manchester City. Yeah, he didn't score, but the way that he was holding up play, where he was keeping possession of the ball, he was very calm on the wing. No, I completely agree. I saw the title. I didn't watch the video, but I completely agree with Troops. Like but again, so what I said at the beginning of the stream or like 5-10 minutes ago is that we don't have options at 9 that necessitate that. If we could get somebody in at 9, then we can push him out to the wing and have more options there. Like bring Ivan Toney to Arsenal. Like, then I would be, we're serious contenders.
Yeah.
Like, and anybody saying differently, and anybody saying differently, saying that Osimhen is the better choice. Sorry, like, I'd rather have the Premier League proven English come up through the English league striker than the Nigerian in the that's been playing in the Italian league. Don't get me wrong, I rate Osimhen. Don't get me wrong, I rate him. But it's just one of those things where he's proven and he's scoring and he's a baller, and he's probably going to be the reason that Brentford stay up. To be honest with you.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's that much of a difference maker. Like I've been saying.
That's why Brentford aren't going to sell him either.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because like, why should they? Like, he can be in all his feelings, but they're just not gonna sell him. I said this, like, if you want to get a deal done for the summer, cool, but they just not gonna sell him because they want to make sure they're staying up and getting all that money. And then obviously in Bremo coming back, and all of a sudden you can look at Brentford starting picking up results again. They're climbing up the table. Chelsea, watch out. Man United, watch out. Like, you don't know, like, all of a sudden these guys could be top half of the table, but like I said, I just don't get the dislike that people have for Tony. Like, I just don't get it. Like, and it's not just Arsenal fans. I say Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans of all people say that too about Tony is just not it. Osimhen is clear, and I'm like, cool. Yeah, Osimhen.
You know why? Because they're linked closer, more so to Osimhen. Because on the flip side, if Chelsea was linked more, if the links were stronger to Tony, then it would be Tony's better. Osimhen's no good. Same way with Arsenal fans, not all Arsenal fans, so this don't include TJ. And if you're Arsenal fan watching this does not include you. Whoever it was like,
it might include him.
We have this definitely don't include you in regards to we have Jesus. I remember having those debates. I won't say I remember having because they're my guys. I won't, but we had the debate about Jesus and Tony. And I said to them, okay, so who would you prefer up top? Jesus or Tony? All right, no problem. I won't eat it. Promise. But yeah, as I was saying, Jesus just there being told off. But yeah, as I was saying, I was told that Jesus is the better striker. No, he's not. I said this. If Tony was at Arsenal already and Jesus was at Brentford, there would be no conversation about who's better. There would not be any conversation. Let me repeat that say that louder for people in the back. If Tony was already at Arsenal and was performing to the level we believe he can perform at, and Jesus was at Brentford, there's no conversation. I'll go one further. If Tony was at Manchester City and Jesus was at Brentford, there'd be no conversation about who's better. What are we talking about here? Same way with some Arsenal fans tried to convince themselves Havertz was a good signing. Oh yeah, 60 million did it. No, he's not. At best, he's a bench player for you lot. What are we talking about? Everybody fit, he don't get in your best 11. Only in Arteta's mind. Arteta's the only Arsenal fan who looks at the Arsenal's current squad and goes, everybody fit and available, Havertz gets in. Everyone knows Arsenal's best midfield, everybody fit, is Rice, Partey, Odegaard. Everybody knows this.
Yep.
And then you don't get in your best front three. So unless he's playing left back, where's he playing? You spent 60 M's on it. It's okay to say, all right, that's a bad signing. It's okay. Trust me, I'm a United fan. My club makes tons of them. Like, it's okay to say this is a bad signing. Yeah, go on, TJ.
No. But if you say that though, that you're negative and you don't believe it, you don't believe in the team, and you're not backing the boys. Like it's one of those things where people get so obsessed with the characters. I've said this before. I'll say it again. These people get so obsessed with the characters, and they don't think Mikel Arteta can do any wrong. And I said this, Flawless, when we literally the first stream I did with you. I said that Arteta is going to be made or broken by this signing. And I think this signing is going to cost Arteta his job. A 5-0 victory does not convince me otherwise. I hold the same opinions that I did now that I did at 6 a.m. today. It's nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, because if you look at the performances today, who are our worst players for Arsenal today? Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard. By far our worst. Like, not even close.
Just get my charger one sec. Carry on.
No worries, bro. No worries. So it's one of those things where the people can gaslight themselves as much as they want. The copium, the Kool-Aid, whatever you want. But, failure is on the horizon again. And it's because we did not sign the right midfielders. It's because we did not sign the 9 that we needed, and it's because of the current management that we didn't do that. It's a complete ego thing where Arteta thinks he can turn Kai Havertz into a world-class player. This guy is the most expensive bench player in the Premier League, in my opinion. And nothing's going to change. He had a purple patch in November. Woohoo. What was I saying then? Okay, yeah, keep it consistent. He has had a stretch of games where he might as well have been a turnstile in the midfield. We would have been better playing with 10 men. You saw a difference. Like, you literally saw a difference as soon as he was subbed off. You saw a difference in how we approached that game.
Jeez.
A lot more fluid, a lot more open. He's just taking up space out there, man. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of this guy.
Dude, the dude's hot call a spade, man. The dude's hot garbage out there. Like, he's trash. Like, I mean, like, it's guy just booty cheeks. I mean, like, the guy is just out there. Like I said, Arteta thought he was smart with that one. Like, he thought he was smart, but we all knew, like, shit. And certain players you just know. And Kyle is one of them. And it's just, if you get sucked this season, which I don't even believe Arteta gets sucked, even if he doesn't win anything.
He's not going to. So, it would need to be a massive fallout for him to get sucked.
It's Arsenal just, the only way I see him getting sucked is if Arsenal don't get top 4 even. Then everybody's like, what the hell is going on? Because, like, that means 2 teams get in that Arsenal let in. Because obviously Aston Villa's currently in it with Arsenal. If Arsenal drops, then it would be us currently as of right now with the standings. But who knows? Maybe somebody else is going to come through. But obviously, beginning of the expectation was, we were supposed to go and challenge for every trophy possible, or at least make it far. At least at bare minimum, make it further in the cups. Because I think that's the obvious one thing about Arteta, where I believe that he just gets away with it way too much. How the cup competitions here in England, how it's fine that every other team can get slandered for going out, but Arteta's like, nah, it's fine because we still got bigger fish to fry. Like, that nonsense. Like, nah, that's what. He has limited himself to the point where he has to win a Champions League or a Premier League this year to people think, okay, you have done a fantastic job. Because as of right now, I said it before, he's a glorified Pochettino, but just a Spanish one.
Well, no, Pochettino made it to a Champions League final. So it's one of those things where if Arteta makes it to the semis and top 4, he's going to keep the job. The only way that I think he gets called into question seriously by the management here is if we drop out to Porto and we drop out of the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like, and part of me, I don't want to say this, but my brain is kind of going in this direction because I want to see my football club succeed. Don't get me wrong. I don't care who's in charge. You always want to see your football club succeed. But if it means better for the future, like if that happens and that means Arteta gets the sack, I'm willing to see it. Like the real ones know that this guy isn't it. That he's not the guy to get us to where we need to be. We have marquee players. We have players that are in their prime or close to in their prime. Declan Rice, Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, who people at this time last season were rating higher than Saka. You have these kids at key points in their career, and you're not utilizing them the way they need to be utilized. And that is a huge indictment. And when these guys leave, I don't want anybody to be shocked because, Saka, he's going to Barcelona. What a traitor. You mean he's going to Barcelona or Real Madrid to win shit? Oh, shocker. Oh, is that's the, not to sound like League Hunter. Oh, that's the point of elite sport is to win trophies. And if these guys don't see a future here, they're going to leave. They're going to leave, guys. And look, not to go on a complete rant, but everybody's saying, oh yeah, Granit Xhaka, he's gone. He's at Leverkusen. What place are Leverkusen in?
True that.
Like he's cooking out there, and at a team and a project that's actually going really, really well. Xabi Alonso is looking like he's going to dethrone Bayern Munich.
That's crazy if they do that.
That is crazy, bro.
Because we gotta have a very uncomfortable conversation about certain Englishmen, but we will wait.
Yeah.
We'll wait, people.
We'll absolutely, 100%. So that's what I'm saying. So people saying, oh yeah, no, trust the process. How long was Leverkusen's process? 2 years. That's how long it was. They got a coach and they signed key players that fit the coach's freaking profile. It is not hard to understand.
It's really not difficult.
It's not. So quit trying to gaslight me saying that this manager is it. Stop doing it. I'm not that guy. I don't care if it doesn't get me 1,000 subs. I don't care. I'm not gonna,
1,000 subs on its way, man. You go get there.
No. And that's not even the point. I'm not saying this to be controversial. I'm saying this because it is the truth. It's the truth, people. This is just, there's no feelings involved here. It's results. I'm a business guy. I'm a manager in real life. This is business, guys. And these guys hired a manager. They brought in the players that could fit the profile that you wouldn't necessarily say, oh yeah, these guys are marquee players. But no, they're fitting the profile and they're getting the job done. Granit Xhaka cooking in the 6th position for Leverkusen. Cooking. And that's why everybody's like, oh, we shouldn't have let him go. No, Xhaka for Arsenal is completely different from Xhaka at Leverkusen, period. And don't tell me that Bundesliga isn't hard. Oh, Bundesliga is a farmer league. What's the Premier League then?
Yeah, it's
Manchester City won 3 titles in a row. Oh, but we're not a farmers league. Okay, whatever. Yeah. All right. That's fine.
I hear you, man. Hey, you like continue.
I want to think the Bundesliga this season. I want to think the Bundesliga this season is more competitive than the Premier League.
It is. Hey, Jess, can I ask you a question? I'm not even shithousing though.
Yeah, go on.
Can I ask you a question? If Harry Kane doesn't win the Bundesliga, is he actually cursed? I'm gonna bring it
up. Yeah.
I mean, don't let us win the FA Cup too.
Yeah. Don't let Spurs win a trophy and him go trophyless up by.
I was saying, like, this is where
Spurs win the FA Cup.
This is the fuck it. They have the touch. Fuck it. Nah. Jokes aside. I don't think they're gonna win the trophy, obviously, because City, we playing City now. But it's just it would just sum up everything, because ironically I had the same conversation just earlier. Me and Steve were talking about who winning the Bundesliga. I believe it's Leverkusen. And Harry Kane is again in the same scenario where he was last season, where if Harry Kane doesn't score, what does Bayern do on the pitch? Mm-hmm. So pretty much he's pretty much in the Tottenham side, but just in red and white this time around.
Yep.
So,
which is so crazy. It's so crazy. I mean,
Which-
and they brought in Eric Dyer.
bro, it brings
Such a
Bayern
backside.
Hotspur, bro.
They
Bayern
bring-
Hotspur.
Such a bad signing.
they chasing Trippier, which is not particularly a bad signing, but it's like
It's uninspiring though. That's what
Yeah,
I
that's
would
what-
say
that's-
about the Trippier signing.
Listen,
I think Trippier is a good
I'm
player.
saying.
I think he's in
That's
poor
why I
form.
keep saying.
But
That's why I
go
keep
on.
saying that Bayern is just not the Bayern from what people expect him to be like. They're living off the brand right now.
Yeah,
They're living off the brand. And I watch Bayern. They've been dog shit all year. But what's bailing them out this year? Harry Kane. Because Harry Kane is able to just score from every position nearly around the whole box. That's the only thing that's keeping them alive right now. So if I'm a Bayern fan, pray that Kane doesn't get injured because I don't know how they're getting through the season without Kane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, we will.
I mean,
Hey,
and
you
they-
lot
don't
continue
they
to
have-
get your
Sorry.
questions in as well, man. Continue. Now, go on, carry on, TJ. Go on.
No, I was gonna ask because they got Lazio in the next round of the Champions League, which is not an easy side to beat. So it's one of those things where you might see. I mean, I would love to see Lazio win, but it's one of those things where the form of Bayern is not what it normally is, and that's absolutely crazy to me that we're talking about Bayer Leverkusen potentially winning it. I mean, and like Eli just said in the chat, like Sancho's absolutely cooking.
We gonna get to the Sancho thing. We gonna get to that. Oh, you lot thought I forgot? Everyone quiet about that.
Yeah,
Everyone
no.
mad quiet
I wonder
about
why. I
wonder why people acted like. We'll get to it in a second. Eli says, "What do y'all think about my baller Eze? We definitely could use him in our midfield right now." He's basically what Eli's saying. So yeah, thoughts on this, TJ? Eze, fan?
Dude, Eze was cooking today. Like if they didn't have Eze, it would have been 6 or 7-0. Like these guys, Eze was cooking. He was nutmegging people. Like he balled out today. He was a standout player. I would love Eze in my football club. Don't get me wrong, man. He is a dog. Absolute baller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of them.
No, and without that, Crystal Palace would just be despondent. And you saw the protest that their fans put up in the Emirates today. Man, good for them.
What's the protest? What was this?
They had like a banner up, right? TJ can explain it.
Yeah, they snuck in a banner, which I don't even know how they got this banner in, man. They had a banner like written on plastic, black and white, and it said wasted present, wasted future, get the club out, essentially no hope, or get the owners out, no hope. So good for them, especially in an away day, doing that. Like that was an incredible protest. I thought, like, good for them for doing that. And at the current pace that Crystal Palace are on, they're likely going to be in the relegation places or being threat of relegated for the next couple of years unless they get a change at the top. It's like, sorry, Roy Hodgson, like legend of the game, but he's past it now. They need new ideas out there.
I think they will get new ideas. I think the one thing they will do is the commentator said it like the whole time they've been there. Yeah, and someone mentioned Graham Potter as well. They finished between 10th and 15th. They're just a solid mid-table club. And the thing is with Potter, I think that's the perfect type of team for him. I think Potter will do well there. Graham Potter. I think
100%.
we'll see him doing that.
I was wondering, and I didn't even put it together, maybe because it was too early in the morning this morning, but I was like, oh, Graham Potter's there. Why is Graham Potter there?
Yeah, I didn't figure it out until somebody said it in the chat, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah,
it makes perfect sense. It really, really does.
Because also,
no hate, no clubs tonight. No clubs tonight. Yeah, go on, Jez. Go on.
I was saying, so they have a decent core there. Obviously, if they can keep Esther around for another year, so can keep Lisa around for another. I mean, Lisa signed a new deal, but if they can keep these two around, and then you see the players that on the team like a Gay, like a Anderson. Henderson. I think for Palace. I think he's a good keeper for them. So it's like you have good pieces there, but still needs a lot of work. And it's like I feel like Palace fans are just tired because, like you said, Flo, they're a solid mid-table club, but
they want something more.
They
want actual progression because I remember Tottenham. They used to be also the period where Tottenham used to be mid-table as well until Levy was able to push the club higher and higher up the table. Obviously, a lot of people don't want to give Levy the credit for that because obviously we haven't won anything during that period, but he has solidified this club as one in terms of one of the bigger brands in whole football. And ironically, the way he's been running the football club in terms of the self-sustainability is actually the reason why we actually been able to do business the way we've been doing this month. And
Facts.
we're still trying to add to the business. Like, with other teams, they're still trying to see if they even can pass the FFP thing. So, which is ironic, because if Arsenal didn't sign Kai Havertz, they probably could have been able to sign players this month. So it's like, that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I dislike about Levy, yes, but I give him credit for what he has done good, in my opinion.
No,
But
no,
it's
and
also-
that's the
yeah.
thing, is that a lot of people, and I agree with you, like Daniel Levy, a lot of people don't like Daniel Levy because he commercialized Tottenham, but that's exactly what Tottenham needed to stay afloat. Without Daniel Levy, you guys probably would have been relegated far before now. But he was actually able to make you guys commercially viable and part of the Big Six. Like, yeah, like it's like you can question what Daniel Levy has done in terms of running the football club and not being able to win trophies, but in terms of commercial footprint, he has done more for your club than a lot of people give him credit for, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That being said, people don't like the commercialization of football, but Daniel Levy knows it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
To see Cube, sorry, he's saying obviously doing the host. Yeah, I know that Tottenham. There were obviously the glory days where Tottenham was a top team. I know Tottenham won
like
the
19 in the back in the 60s, Cubed.
Yes, and obviously they won.
Were your parents
the
even alive?
Sorry. I mean, probably my dad was alive during the period. Ironically, yeah, my dad. I don't know about my mom, but my dad was probably.
I know in 1961, my mother was one. So that's all I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
But I don't even want to make it a long ass conversation. But people that know what I mean by what Levy has helped with is actually make this club being a self-sustained model for what it is, and doesn't rely on having to sell players. Like, we don't particularly have to sell players in order to go and buy. We can just use the money that we generate now from what he has done, in my opinion, in able to go and just spend in the window and in these transfer windows. And this is something I give him credit for. He made Tottenham. Obviously, Pochettino was also a big reason why Tottenham was able to be consistently in the top four. But because before that, it wasn't the case. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say the OG Tottenham was always part of the Big Six. Whatever. Me personally, I don't even really give a fuck about these titles about Big Six, because I think at the end of the day, it really means nothing when you don't go ahead and win anything. And yeah, Danny, let's go. Maybe doesn't have ambition to win, and it's clear to see. 100%. I never said that. I think people. I'm literally just saying, give the guy credit for what he does well, but also criticize him for what he doesn't do well, which is helping the club pushing to really go that one step ahead in order to go and actually compete for things. And I think that's the biggest issue that I have with Levy. But then in the same time, which people not gonna like what I'm about to say, I'm just in terms of acceptance of what we are as a football club, that we are not just trying to go for titles in Champions League, but I do believe that we can go ahead and win the secondary titles. Like, we had good enough teams at times to go and compete for Europa Leagues. We had teams good enough to go. I mean, we were in semi-finals and finals of Carabao Cups and FA Cups, so the club can do that. But do I think Levy has really the end? Is the end goal to go and win trophies like the league and the Champions League? I don't believe so. Like, and I'm kind of in the acceptance currently as of right now.
I just think that people lose sight of where he's gotten you. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be having a conversation about Tottenham Hotspur. You know, obviously hindsight's 2020, but I don't think we would be having this kind of conversation about Tottenham Hotspur at this point if it wasn't for Daniel Levy, because you guys were in such horrible financial straits back in the early 2000s and 90s, where they pulled you out. And a lot of Tottenham fans are okay with where you guys are at just because they remember where you've been.
Yes,
and that's a huge thing. And people like, yeah, you could be, you're absolutely trophy starved, and I'm going to continue to give you shit for that for forever.
Yeah.
But you have to also consider, like, for a team that hasn't won very much, you guys still maintain that commercial footprint. You maintain enough success to sustain you guys as a Big Six club. And that isn't me shitting on you. That's That's
no.
genuinely a
See,
compliment.
it's weird because I don't want that whole argument. That's why I'm not even going to continue even trying to go back and forth with the chat or anything like that. Like,
Yeah, no,
people will get me. All I'm saying is that give the guy. It's a right to give the guy shit. Yes, because it's been 15 years since we have won the trophy. Or I think it's been more than 15. Fucking hell, I lost count how many years it's been. It's been 15, 16, 17, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm also not gonna take away for helping the club becoming to the state where it is self-sustained. It is like and look at this summer, for example. He was willing to go on. I mean, Conte had to be sacked personally, in my opinion. But he could have said,
I
you know
agree.
what, fuck it. Let me go all the way with it and don't sack him. And then just don't back him again. He could have gone. The whole fan base wanted Pochettino back. Not the whole fan base. Let me actually.
How dare no. There were a lot of
That's
people
what
that
I'm
wanted
saying.
him back.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said. That's why I wanted to say. Let me take the whole fan base away. But there was a lot of people who wanted Pochettino back. And even I got to a point where I said,
They were
you know what?
singing his name in the stadium.
In the stadium. Yes, and I remember that. And I think I got even to the point where I said I take Pochettino after we got rejected, or we rejected Nagelsmann and we got rejected by Enrique. At that point, I was like, because I didn't know who else gonna take the job. But I like the fact that Levy didn't go back to just go back to Poch and then let's try to work out. He went with completely 360. Nobody expected with somebody like an Ange Postecoglou, who not only fits of terms of what fans like to see on the football pitch, but also fits in terms of this is a manager where you can actually realistically, you don't have to go and spend 80 million, 70 million in each player. This is a player where he understands that manager like an Ange can fit to can work within the structure. Whenever you believe the structure is a successful structure or not, it's a whole different conversation. But got a manager in that actually fits within the structure, and I think the last two managers like Conte and Jose, they were never ever going to work out in the structure that Daniel Levy has put out there. But Ange, can it work out? I don't know. Can he win us a trophy? I don't know. But he's much more of a fit to what the club likes to do under his view. And as of right now, we're seeing it. He's back. He's backing the manager currently. You can't tell me we're not backing the manager. We're doing currently as much like I kind of like I'm seeing us no link to this 18-year-old wonder kid. They're getting chased by everybody in the world now, and we're trying to go and make the deal done quickly. I'm seeing a centre back that was nearly hijacked by Bayern Munich, but then Levy and co staying up to all late to make sure we can secure the signing, and the player comes over to Tottenham. Like the manager is getting backed, and currently there's no reason for me why I have to go and criticize these guys for saying, there should be more ambition. Because I always talk about, I don't give a fuck about if our whole squad costs £1, then we pay £1 for each player. I would be happy with that as long as these guys can help us with success and help the manager. Because I don't need guys there. Because then you get situations like Harvard, you get in situations like Anthony, you get situations like Modric, where you overpay for some guys, but they don't do nothing. And then you look at them the next window and said, "Oh, where's the money gone?" Yeah, because you spent it on these clubs already.
Yeah.
So man, that's what I'm saying. I'm just happy currently in terms of just what we're just doing and how we're operating in the window. Like we're still trying to go and sign a midfielder as well. So man. But I'm not going back and forth with this one because I think people just not going to really understand me.
That's all good. No,
I hear you. Big up to Eddie as well in the chat.
I hear it 100%, bro. Good. Sorry.
Well, I hear you. As big up to Eddie says, hit the like, people. Shout out to my dogs on the panel and the chat. We got our CEO Flawless. How do you feel? Waiting for him to take over, Eddie. I'm waiting for him to actually take over the position and hit it up as well. You know what I'm saying? C cubed, fair, man. You know what I'm saying? If you disagree, fair enough. But big up to you, man. It is what it is. It is what it is, but it's all respectful. We all have different opinions, so yeah, fair enough. Hey, over 50 of you locked in right now. Run up the likes, people, before we close out the show. Currently at 38 likes, which is a decent return, but let's get up to 50 likes. Like check 1212. Hit that like button on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's road to 10,000 subscribers. We're at 9,392. We're looking for 3 more subscribers, people. And also make sure you subscribe to TJ's channel, TJ Warren TV. The link is in the title, people. Link is in the title. So yeah, make sure you click the link and it opens up a new tab and you can subscribe to TJ's channel as well. Final few questions, people. Yes, to Eli. Anyone watch Sancho FC? Brother was cooking. No, I didn't actually watch the game. I heard he put in a good performance. I heard he won the penalty as well. And this just goes to show how people will just love a club and a manager over a player. Whether you think Sancho was in the right or was in the wrong with Ten Hag, whether you think he was a success or not a success at Manchester United, one thing you can't doubt is that guy's talent. People wrote off Jadon Sancho like he couldn't play football anymore. People wrote off Jadon Sancho like there isn't so many players that are worse than him. We had multiple people in the chat talking about nobody's going to want him. He's going to have to retire from the game, his wages, all types of nonsense. Jadon Sancho is still a talented footballer. And on top of that, he's still at the age where he can improve. He's still at that. He's showing that now. He's had success before Manchester United. He started off well at Dortmund in the 2 games. Now, don't get me mistaken. I said all summer long, we should have sold him. Said all this all season long, all summer long, should have sold Jadon Sancho because of everything that had gone on, because of how the manager was going to play, because of his lack of physical attributes. And has he failed at Manchester United? Yes. Is that all on him? No. But we've seen talented players before him come to Manchester United and fail. And we'll see players after him. But people act like he's an awful player. No. Jadon Sancho is still better than most. Like, what are we talking about here? And when I say that, I'm talking just from a sheer talent perspective. So to write off someone with his talent is ridiculous. And I hope he balls out and does his thing, which I think he will do as well.
So the hilarious part about it is that the hilarious part about it is that I saw Man United aggregators report not about Man United but about Sancho, because obviously Sancho won the penalty and he wanted to obviously take the penalty, which is obvious, which makes sense. Player that wins penalty wants to take the penalty. Surprise, surprise. And obviously there was like just not even a bustle. It was just like Sancho asking his full court if he can take the penalty. Full court wanted to take the penalty. Shameless, because he only scored in that game, but whatever. And then full court took it, they scored. And after the game, full court was saying how obviously explained the whole situation that Sancho wanted to take it and ask him. Obviously, but he said, no, I want to take the penalty, and he took it, and then obviously told Sancho he's going to get his goal very soon anyway, at some point. But there was a report coming out how obviously one of the Dortmund reporters was saying how Sancho was saying, give me the ball, which wasn't actually the thing that he said. He said, he said, I think something like, let me take her, bro. So he was just asking him. And I saw Man United aggregators kept coming out, taking that report and reporting it like it was a bad thing. Nah, Sancho just wanted to take the penalty because he wanted to score and get his first goal off the mark, but the penalty that he won. And United fans saying, "Oh, Sancho, look at it. This is attitude and that." Like, what?
Attitude to someone you don't know. Hilarious.
Because he wants to take the penalty that he won. All of a sudden, that's an issue. How many players in history have won penalties and said, "I want to take the penalties"? Or even players who I've seen players.
I've seen Saturday League and Sunday League. That's the crazy part.
Like, I have debates. Literally, I'm still mad at some of my guys that why didn't you let me take the penalty even though they scored it? I'm still mad at them that they never gave me the pen because I wanna get me some as well. Like it's weird. Like I said, man, and I said this before. Man United fans are gonna just watch all these Dortmund games, watch him cook until they see him all of a sudden having a bad game and then putting the fur counts out there. But this was what's just gonna happen. They already made their mind up. They made their mind up that Ten Hag is God, Jesus Christ himself, and Sancho is the devil. He is the wrong one. He's the guy that we have to despise to back the manager point even forward. But Sancho's 2 for 2 in terms of W's, helping this team win. Well, Ten Hag couldn't even be the Spurs B-side. So,
but people don't want to talk about that.
And his 100 million signing cannot start over Garnacho, who's a left winger, not even a right winger. So, ironically, Sancho would have helped. But again, whole scenario which I can't even comment because again, I'd say balanced with that. But again, it's just funny how things work in life and how Ten Hag certain decisions coming back to him. Like again, people keep forgetting. At some point, he was trying to face with Casemiro and Varane at some point, and now because everything goes into shit, he's forcing them back in. But like I said, man, like Ten Hag, he's just trying to survive the season, though. He's trying to survive the season, and hey, man, I just hope everyone that he's doing wrong, in my opinion, all doing well, and it continues to do them doing well, and yeah, man, may long it continues.
Yeah, and to Thomas B, this is it. Sancho wasn't a good fit for Manchester United, but rather than people look at it balanced and logically, it's got to be, oh, he's awful, he's terrible, he's never going to play again, whatever. And now he's playing again. What are we talking about here? Like, it's okay. People just need to be honest with it. People just need to be honest and say, I don't like him. Cool. If you don't like a player, cool, then at least we know where you stand, and we know it's not based in anything from a logical standpoint. It's not a balanced standpoint. It's, I don't like such and such. Big up Dal as well. Like, that's okay. They're like, it's like when people try to pretend and bring you logic to their bullshit. And then when you actually have a conversation and a debate with them about it, there's no substance to back up what they're stating. Like, they say, oh, he's a bad trader. All right, how do you know?
I think the wildest thing for me was how people try to portray that he couldn't find a club after United. That was
the craziest part.
Like he would need to retire or some shit. Like,
people said that in the chat. They're quiet now. They ain't in the chat now, but there's people in the chat saying that nonsense. I'll say, oh, he's not going to find the club you'll see because of his wages. So how come he's currently in Germany at Dortmund? A club where he was so toxic and such a bad influence and was always late that they wanted him back. Why is that the case? Why did they want him back? Why was he linked to Barcelona? What are we talking about here? If someone knows about Jadon Sancho, it's Borussia Dortmund. What are we doing here? But again, these people are going to be quiet. Why would any real fan want to see a high-value club asset do bad, shooting ourselves in the foot as always? Andrew, you know why this is? Because what I've realized content creating for the past few years, a lot of our fan base don't want to be successful by any means necessary. They want to be successful, but how they want us to be successful. So with the players they like, and the players act in a certain way, and players move in a certain way, and players play in a certain way. In some cases, players being of a certain nationality, or players being through Carrington, for example. Rather, I don't like Jez mentioned about all the players being a pound. I don't care where the players are from. I don't care if it's Carrington graduates. I don't care if it's English. I don't care if it's European, if it's North American, South American, if it's Asian players, if it's African, if it's Caribbean, if it's Wakanda, New Asgard, Old Asgard, Woodcrest, Springfield, Quahog. Can you play football? That's all I care about. Can you perform to a level when you put on the shirt? Yes, all right, cool, you're in. Couldn't care less. Religion, race, couldn't care less. Like, what are we talking about here? Yeah. Your thoughts on it, TJ?
Here's my thoughts on the whole Sancho situation. If there was one club that I would pick in the German league, it would be Dortmund. I've identified with them because they bottle shit like my club does. So obviously I'm going to latch on to them. So I can always say I was a fan of them when they win. But my whole thing with Sancho is that, and I think people judge him unfairly because he had the spell where he had I think he had some mental health issues, or he had some personal difficulties where he had to take time away from the club, and people all over the world identify that as a weakness, where, you know, he took his time away from the club, he came back and he cooked, and now he doesn't get along with the manager exiles him. And people are either on Ten Hag's side or they're on Sancho's side. Sancho is now out to prove that Ten Hag is an absolute fraud, and that his management of that situation, while we thought it was bad at the time, is going to be even worse. 2020 hindsight. I'm cheering Sancho on. I think we all know why, you know, and this is I'm not going to mention it because I'm probably not in a place, you know, in my life or ever am going to be in a place to comment on this. But I think we know why he was getting the stick that he was getting.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you don't know because you weren't there. Flawless, you and I have talked about this so many times. I would have to get out my fingers and freaking toes to count how many times we've talked about this, and where you don't know. You don't have cameras on the Manchester United training ground. You don't know if this guy is training correctly. You don't know if he's giving max effort. How would you know? Football London? How would you know ITK dude on Twitter? Like, how would you fucking know? And now I'm cheering this guy on at Dortmund because A, he's been there before and cooked, and B, he now has a reason to prove everything wrong. I hope he goes out there and wins trophies and absolutely excels out there because because I think he got unnecessary stick. Unnecessary.
And that's where
Because
I was at with
people fail to understand real quick. People fail to understand the pressure that these guys are under. Yeah, they're getting paid a lot of money. Yeah, they're good. But everybody's different. Everybody takes it in a different way. So if somebody is down or somebody is having an off week or an off month or whatever, like it doesn't make them any better or less of a footballer. They're just in a bad rut. So the fact that they didn't believe in him, man, I hope he absolutely proves them wrong and cooks him. That's all.
That's where it is like. That's where I was at with it. It was like, right, when people have criticized his performances, cool. I've never once defended his performances, and people always go back to that when we had the amount of times you debated that, or I've debated that. People always go back, or he's performing badly on the pitch. Never once have I. There's nowhere of me defending his performances on the pitch. Shout out to Tony. He tried that nonsense when he was on here not last week, a couple of weeks ago. Make sure you subscribe to Tony. He started talking about his performances on the pitch. Tony, where did I mention his performances on the pitch? Oh, well, that means he's training bad because his performances on the pitch are bad. Okay, then. So by that logic, everybody's training bad because no one performs on the pitch.
Kai Havertz, yeah. But by the way, Kai Havertz must be training like an absolute superstar because, like. Sorry. I disagree with Tony on a lot, and I disagree with him on that.
Yeah. Like, because we had that, and people always bring that. Anytime I've had debates, people say, "Oh, well, his performances." We're not talking about his performances. Let me reiterate this again. Go and check. There's the playlist on the channel. Man United podcast summer transfer window, where me and Eddie do player ratings like we do at the end of every season. We did part 1 and part 2. We both gave Sancho a 3. That goes so when people are like, oh, you defend him. I don't defend his performances. I defend him in that scenario. That's where. Because if Ten Hag was smart, you know what I think that Ten Hag should have let him play. And then if Ten Hag would have let him play and he performed poorly, you don't need to do anything. But it's all this being over the top stuff and talking off the pitch. Nah, let the performances show. That's what it is. Yeah.
And he didn't. And in my opinion, he didn't even get a chance. Like you're talking about. Like, does anybody realistically rate Pellistri or Antony above Sancho?
No.
At this point?
No.
Like, are we at that point? If you are, again, sorry to say this, but you need to get your head checked. Because this guy is levels above this guy. It was personal. It was an ego thing for Ten Hag, and it was an ego thing for Manchester United.
And that's where it's bad that it seems, sorry to cut you off, Jez, it seems like it's a personal thing. That's where I stood the ground on it. Like, this is a profession. Like, this shouldn't be happening.
I mean, the hilarious part about it is that because it looked personal. No, none of his attackers are performing. None of the attackers are performing. Højlund got his assist and goal against us in the first half, but second half, dude did nothing. I mean, United had 0 shots on target, so dude was just out there just running around. And maybe if you had a creator like a Sancho around him, see, funny enough, people, I always said this about Sancho. If you don't rate him as a footballer, or you think he's just not as good as people make it out to be, that's fine. Like, it's cool if you say Sancho's just maybe never going to get to the levels that people thought he's going to go. But to sit here and people making genuine arguments about how that this guy has no footballing ability, that this guy career is finished at 23. That's the disingenuous part that I just never liked about these conversations that people make him look big. And about in the media, they need to put their. I mean, again, the media, we know what they're all about. They're about making the clicks. Because I saw just the other day, she'll say a ridiculous story about Wan-Bissaka, how they talking about how Wan-Bissaka is not that active as a character in terms of his in terms of his character, in terms of interviews, or how he's just very quiet and how he's just not, he's not like your Bruno Fernandes or like your Martin Odegaard, who are always there for interviews and that and looking forward for these things, and how that apparently is an issue for in the dressing room. And I was like, you want Wan-Bissaka to be out there doing YouTube videos with Logan Paul and them, man? Because it's like, bro, the guy's just there to play his football.
He's a footballer.
Whenever
not an entertainer.
If you exactly, like, if you don't rate Aaron Wan-Bissaka, that's fine. But he's not there to be a YouTuber, to be a character. He's just there to play football. And I think Wan-Bissaka is just one of these personalities where I'm like, yeah, I'm obviously, do I mind doing media? No, I don't mind doing media. But I'm not somebody that's just looking forward to put myself out there. I just want to go about my own business and do my job. And I think, again, I saw people criticize Wan-Bissaka for the same thing, that he's not an active player on the pitch. And I said, like, being one of the active players sometimes can mean you're one of the shittest players on the pitch, ironically, because you're trying to hide this is a good way, because fans, whatever reason, over here in England, people think that the more you show on the pitch, the more you're active, which is completely wrong. But it's, generally speaking, it's just an English thing. In Germany, that hasn't happened. I don't see German fans ever say, this guy is shouting, so he's doing something. No. I think this is one of the reasons why some of our fans say that Son is not the best captain that we can choose for our current squad, because Son is not this get into your face. And to be fair play. Some people they like their type of. Some people like that type of the Roy Keane's type of captains where they're gonna be into the referee's face and stuff like that. I always believe somebody they can lead by example should be the captain, in terms of not only off the pitch, within the dressing room, but also on the pitch. And I think this is what Son is doing perfectly, in my opinion. But like I said, all the media, they're very clever. They're getting their clicks. Sancho's doing his own thing, and Ten Hag is in the match because he has no good wingers at the football club.
Yeah, like you said, there's different ways to captain, and that's what it is. And like you can have your preference, but is it successful or not? Like, that's what it is. Are you a good captain? Like, that's what it is. Are you a quality captain? Are you leading? Are you helping your team? So whether it is the more Roy Keane, where you're more vocal, you know what I'm saying, and you're barking instructions at people and demanding more, or you're more on the calmer side, and like you said, you lead by example. You're not a Roy Keane, you're more so of, say, a Raphael Varane type of thing. Like, that's what it is. Nowhere near the level. I've captained my Saturday League team before. Am I a barking captain? Absolutely not. No. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for that. I'm saying I'm more lead by example, but there's difference. There's captains who I've played under who are more aggressive. I'm saying who are much more vocal. Cool. Are you a good captain? That's how I look at it. People don't look at the level. Now to us, we're not. Tomorrow, we'll probably be on tomorrow. There'll be no pro clubs today, people. I am tired as well. I big up Anderson as well, says big up Sarcasm City TV. Always quality content. Yo, man, we aim to bring you the best content, 110%. And big up Bajan Reds as well. I'm gonna shout you. I'm gonna be over on your channel. You'll see me over there next week at some point if they have a space for me, people, because he said blessings for the redirect last night. Anytime, man, you already know. So make sure you subscribe to Bajan Reds. I'm saying, obviously, they're Bajan, so make sure you support. Shame they support the ops, but here we are, people. So go subscribe to the channel over there as well. Final couple questions before we close out. To Junaid, who says, when trials, that I have no idea. Time, there seems there isn't enough time in the day. I'm going to try and get to the trials before the playoffs, but it's looking like it'll be after the playoffs. So probably after the playoffs will be the trials. I believe the playoffs start the 26th.
Yeah.
So... and I'm not sure how long are playoffs on for. Like, is it like a week?
It's a week.
So yeah. So let me just double check. I can look at the time. So probably February will when there'll be trials. Yeah. So from the 26th, if it's a week, 2nd of February, they'll finish. So probably that weekend, probably the first weekend in February, the 3rd and the 4th is when there'll be trials for the pro clubs, because we got 3 teams and we're trying to get them all to the elite division, and one's in 2, and one's in 2. And another one's in, I think they're both in 2. I think
they're
A
both,
and
I
OG
think they're both in 2.
are both in 2. Yeah, whereas the B team's in elite, so we're trying to get to elite before the playoffs start. H can vouch for me. Yeah, Junaid. It's just where do you play though? What position do you play? That's what I need to know as well. TJ, don't get me started. This manager, big up to Grim. TJ, don't get me started. This manager is a fraud. How you got Kai Havertz and 250k a week? If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the type of money rewarded to the best player on the pitch? Obviously, you spoke on this before Grim got here, but
Grim, my guy, big up the best striker on EAFC 24. By the way, big up Grim every single time, bro. No, it's one of those things where my mind is blown just like yours, man. This head is big and it's about to explode because this guy is an absolute fraud. Graham, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Arteta will live and die by this signing, and as soon as it falls out, and it will, Arteta's job will come into serious question. You saw that performance today. Who was the worst player on the pitch? It was Kai Havertz, followed very, very closely by Martin Odegaard. This guy is an absolute fraud. Okay. Now, what you're gonna see for the rest of the season is you're gonna see some people rotating into this number 8. This is my TJ Nostradamus take on the rest of the season. Okay. Kai Havertz is going to do so badly that he's going to start having to rotate people in. So you're going to continue to see Trossard try to play there, which he's not very good. And we're going to continue to leak points and leak goals because of that. You're going to see ESR. I'm sorry. I like the kid, but I don't think that he's the levels. And then you're going to see Fabio Vieira get freaking blown over by a little gust of wind when he tries to play there, man. We're just not, I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but we're still not deep enough at that attacking or creative midfielder position. We're not, because these guys are not the quality of a squad, that is trying to win the Premier League. It's just not there. It's not there. So yeah, no, the fact that I'm saying, oh yeah, Kai Havertz is a bench player who can come in at an 8 or in a 9 in a pinch, or even at left back in a pinch, and we're paying this guy 100 or 250k a week. Like, am I in dreamland? Like, yeah, no. And we got the ops laughing at us because they know it's a fucking joke. It's a joke.
Hey, you know what? Somebody put it into a tweet, like, saying how Robbie Don Robbie showed to him how after the game he's gonna probably say something along the lines. See Kai Havertz, he put out the effort there. He tried his hardest into getting into the right positions today, which just wasn't going. He wasn't getting it going today, which is unlucky to him. 8 out of 10. Oh no! The way.
Oh yeah, because they use his meme, yeah, and then say that, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I saw a tweet. If I can find the proper tweet, because I probably liked it. If I can find the tweet, I will get to I will get the right one. But it's just you just know that when dudes are just straight out lying to your face, you know that they don't even themselves start to believe from what they're actually reading, but they need to somehow. They need to somehow convince themselves that it's like me. It's probably what's gonna be me with Werner for the rest of the season, where I'm like, I have to just trying to hope that this guy just can turn good, even though I don't have no faith. But I just believe, because fuck it, I have nothing to lose. But the good thing is we didn't pay 60 million for Werner. Oh my god! Yeah. Oh no, I can't everybody see. This is what I'm saying. Of individual awards are the biggest fraud ever, because Edu won the best DOF award, the best DOF of the year award. For what? To help Arsenal finish second and go out of all the cups. I was saying, like I said, as of right now, Arteta is a second away right now from being called the Spanish Pochettino. A second away, and it's not even. And you can't
that
even
be an insult. Actually, keep going.
You can't make even argument, because Poch at least made it to a semi or and a final for Champions League. So yeah, like I said, is the conversations can be so different if at the end of the season based on what Arsenal actually achieved. Shit, if you can't even make top 4 all of the sudden, because this ironic part, I see Arsenal score 5 goals today, and Arsenal still scored less goals than us this season in the league.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, no, it absolutely is crazy, and that's one of those things where you also have to keep looking, and I'm going to keep reminding you guys, you have to keep looking at where the goals are coming from. They're coming from set pieces, and they're coming from goals on the counterattack. We are not scoring from this possession-based BS that we're doing. And if we're going to continue to play around with it in the final third, we need to continue. We need to actually try to figure out a way to be more incisive, to be more gilt-edged in the final third. Otherwise, we're just playing pass with each other, and then we get countered on and get scored on like we did at Fulham. And look, like, this is why I am not gassing up this win. Am I excited that we won 5-0? Of course. We looked great in the last 20 minutes of the game when Crystal Palace were waving the white flag. Yeah. But at the same time, man, we need to start scoring from open play. In the first half, in the doldrums of, in that period between halftime and the 70th minute. We need to start executing there. Otherwise, man, we're just wasting oxygen talking about it. Honestly.
There we go. There we go. But hey, love to everyone that's locked in. Big up everyone who continues to support the channel. We are going to close out. I think Casually are still live, so we're going to raid them. Make sure you subscribe to TJ's channel. I just dropped the link in the chat. The link's also underneath, also in the title. So you just click the link, opens up a new tab, and then that way you can subscribe to TJ's channel. TJ, let them know what you got coming up in the next week, all that good stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll be live with Staffy on Staffy TV. Go over to Staffy TV and subscribe. I think, I think we're going live with American Waffle on Monday. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 1 a.m., I believe, UK on Tuesday morning. That show's taking the internet by storm. So go and subscribe to Staffy, and we're doing great work over there. And then you can catch me, I believe the next time I'm going live is Tuesday. I'm going to be doing a solo show. I think I'm starting a new show.
Okay,
So just keep an eye out for that. It's called, actually, I haven't agreed on the title. No. I did. I came up with the title today. It's called It's One of Those Things. It's one of those things, and it's going to be a solo show where I'm just taking comments from the chat, talking with the chat. So, look out for that on Tuesday, and then obviously our normal American Idiot show, 9 p.m. on Friday. We always have incredible guests. We had Saad from the Football Corner on Friday, and that was an incredible debate. Really, really nice guy as well. So go and check that out. TJ Warren TV again. And obviously you can catch me on Sarcasm City TV midnight Friday for the Arsenal Manchester United podcast. Again, thanks for having me on. And Jazz, always good to share the screen with you, brother.
Nah, I appreciate it, bro. Obviously, I quickly actually want to say as well. Obviously, big up everyone in the chat. Obviously, I've been doing the obviously not just me myself. It's been also Steve Prime. You see Victor there. You see also football family Ola there as well at times. We've been doing the AFCON. We actually been covering the AFCON on the Twitch. So tomorrow there should be a watch long at 2 p.m. tomorrow on the Twitch. Morocco versus DR Congo. I probably won't be able to make the stream, but Victor will be hosting that one. And then you see all the man like Prime and Steve gonna be there. Ola might pull up. Maybe someone else gonna pull up. Maybe asking for the link to join. So if you guys looking for any watch alongs tomorrow, any AFCON watch alongs tomorrow, that's one right there that we're gonna do. And obviously next week we're gonna cover this. Well, like we're gonna be covering quite some games over the course of the AFCON and up all the way up to the final, and then obviously watch all the final together. So, nah, man, appreciate to all the people that came through as well. Obviously today, I had to do the whole 45 by myself, but it was cool. And to be fair, it was a good conversation at the end of the show as well. Just certain things, and also real quick, Boris, I forgot to ask you, hold it. First of all, Nana, the mistake.
When the one that he punched up in the air, I didn't even actually think it was that bad, to be honest, for him. I didn't think it was that bad. I was just like, it's one of them. He should do better, but I was expecting worse because I know the levels of like what Onana mistakes. So that's why.
Yeah, see, funny enough, for the second one, the third goal from Man, I just think it just looks hilarious because the guy just.
I didn't see that. I only seen the first. Yeah, I only seen the one that.
It's like Man.
There's more. Okay.
The second goal, the second mistake that people say it was a mistake is I wouldn't even say it was a mistake. It was more so. It's just the reaction from Onana is because Mane puts the bottom corner, them tough finishes, and there was two guys probably blocking his view as well. But Onana makes like a late dive. Like I think the ball, by the time he dived, the ball was already past him. So he just looked like he was already sleeping. So it kind of sums up Onana, I think. But I kind of like the first one. I said it on the stream. I just felt like just wipe everybody away and just try and catch the ball, because he did. Ironically, same scenario happened, and that time around he actually went and catch the ball, and he swiped out his teammate to do that. So it's like he knew and even his reaction after the first goal, he knew he fucked up as well. And like I said, this guy, he's just a joke currently. It's a joke currently.
Much so.
By the way, I found the quote from the I found the tweet. It said about the Robbie tweet.
I know the tweet.
It says quotation marks. Harvested well today considering all the pressure going into the game, battled hard until the end. 8 out of 10.
That's the type of thing he was saying. So, yeah, shout out to Don Robbie, but I could see him saying that type of thing. It is crazy. And for those asking about clubs, you lot gonna have to give me like half an hour, 40 minutes. We try to get this kid to sleep. And then, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel for all you parents still active.
It's one of them. At that age, I don't know how old she is, but at that age, I probably would be sleeping already. Like, I was already in bed.
I got a friend of mine's kid downstairs that we're gonna try to wear out with just throwing her around as well. So yeah, no, I completely understand.
I don't know why this kid is still awake, so I'm gonna do it right. I'm finishing. But yeah, like I don't know why. So yeah, Grim just messaged me, Janaid, if you're about, obviously you saying H voucher. So if you're about, I'll give you a shout in about 40 minutes or so, half an hour, 40 minutes for those talking about clubs. But love to everyone that's locked in. We are gonna raid. Here we go, raid. I believe Casually Alive. But don't forget, people, this show and all the other shows on the channel are available on audio only platforms, people. So Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcast, type in Sarcasm City TV, and this show and all the other shows on the channel will pop up. So yeah, man. Make sure you check out. Like I always say, if you're cooking, if you're cleaning, if you're driving, at work, whatever the case may be, people. So yeah, like I said, because some people, and also wherever you listen to music as well. But love to everyone who's tuned in. I believe Casually are still live. So just put Sarcasm City Raid in capital letters in the chat again. Subscribe to TJ. We're back here tomorrow. Outside of AFCON that Jez mentioned, the Morocco DR Congo game. Straight after that, you will get Bournemouth Liverpool Premier League game. That'll be on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Then we'll be back here at 11 p.m. for the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, another one, because there's no point in doing the United Chelsea Spurs show because none of them are live, people. But love to, because none of them are playing this weekend. So yeah,
Facts,
but yeah, love to everyone that's locked in. This has been the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.